boom, 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 boom.
Get it?
Boom. All right, we'll try it again. Boom, 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 boom.
Get it?
Boom, 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 boom.
Get it?
I just get it.
Get it? Giggity.
This is Rowing the Atlantic.
I don't agree.
You
Here it comes, television's most exciting hour of cash and prizes, the fabulous Irritable Dad Syndrome. Now give it up for your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I'm Finnegan.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode
86.
86. Holy crap. How you doing?
All right.
Yeah, we've got
I'm
a
a
good show
little
this
pissed.
week. Why are you pissed?
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know. This is going to be a weird one.
Okay.
Compared
Compared to other ones? Or?
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about this weight thing, and I think my body chemistry is shifting because I'm cutting out a bunch of stuff that I used to eat.
Yeah.
And by used to, I mean just a few days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm readjusting, and I'm going to be pretty pissy.
You know what? Years ago, my wife and I, we did the whole 40, and I turned into just an absolute madman. I wanted to just throttle people.
Yeah.
It was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
But,
So what the hell are we talking about tonight?
well, we are going to talk about the famous, the great, the hilarious Gilbert Gottfried, who passed away yesterday, the date that we were recording the show.
Good
He
Lord.
died the day before. Very sad.
Me and Bess
Yeah.
went to go see Elton John.
Yeah.
And I have a few stories.
Okay.
from that.
Didn't your wife have an altercation?
She had a slight altercation.
Yeah.
She struck someone.
Okay.
And
Ooh.
we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay. I cheated on you. I went on another podcast.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. And
Okay.
I loved it. I had a good time. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. And we're going to be talking about whether or not Figgy is a boy
That's
or a
right.
girl. Or,
Yeah.
I mean,
Could be both.
and what does
who the hell
Figgy
knows?
identify
Yeah.
as?
I don't know.
That's another question.
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. All right, let's get to it. Gilbert Gottfried.
What the hell, man?
67 years old. Apparently, he had a very long suffering illness from, you know what? I remember listening to Bob and Tom, and they were talking about him last year or the year before or something. He was at an event. I remember like the last few times I saw him, he was really hunched over. Almost,
always been
almost
hunched.
like osteoporosis or something,
Okay.
right?
All right.
But I thought the guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he was in Aladdin, one of the greatest
Yeah.
Disney movies. And because I remember, seeing Aladdin, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they got foul-mouthed. Gilbert Gottfried. Why does this always happen? Look at me, I'm molting. And God, it's just like, he was absolutely hysterical. My favorite joke
Yeah.
of his, and it's a weird one, it's an unusual one, but he was doing his routine, it may have been on HBO. Out of nowhere, he just says, Ben Gazzara's a good actor. Why doesn't he have his own show? And then he just went on. And I'm like, yeah. And for years and years, every time I saw Ben Gazzara, I'm like, you know what? He is a good actor. Why doesn't he have the Ben Gazzara show?
My favorite Gilbert Gottfried moment is he was on I'm trying to think, was he on the Howard Stern or Opie and Anthony? Oh, Lord.
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to tick off one of those groups. He was on a
Like
radio
they listen.
He was on a radio show.
Right.
And they had him pranking, like people were calling and he was pranking him. He was being Andrew Dice Clay. He was doing,
okay.
they had him on their soundboard doing an Andrew Dice Clay impression, and they were using that to prank people.
Okay.
So he'd call people, he'd be, ah! I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So he would get on and go, "Ow!"
Yeah, imagine Gilbert
Werewolves of
Gottfried.
London.
Imagine Gilbert Gottfried being as Gilbert Gottfried as he can be, doing an impression of Andrew Dice Clay, being as Andrew Dice Clay as he can be.
Classic.
Oh my Lord, it was hilarious.
Our good friend Michael Flannery posted a clip from the Hollywood Squares back when Whoopi Goldberg was center square, and it was 4-4, 4 X's, 4 O's. The last person was Gilbert Gottfried. Whoever won the Gilbert Gottfried square won the round, right? And it went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It like 5 or 6 times. And each time he'd say, I know the answer. It's cheese. It's cheese. And he'd say, I'll agree. You fool! And he yelled, you fool, every single time. So if you get an opportunity, go on the YouTubes and look up Hollywood Squares, You Fool. It's one of the greatest moments in comedic history. But, something that was really sad, and this picture has been spreading all over the internet.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He posted the picture of him with Louis Anderson and Bob Saget, talking about how sad this picture was. And now he's gone.
Yeah.
All 3 of them gone within like 3 months.
Wow.
God love him. He was hilarious.
Yeah, he was.
And we're never going to see another comedic talent like him. He was certainly unique. And, it's like, he had a unique voice. Some people would think maybe, call him a gimmicky comic. I don't care. He had material.
He was legitimately funny.
He had material to back up his persona.
Howard's one of those guys, one of those shows had him on all the time, and he was just absolutely hilarious. Just hearing his take, we'd be talking about normal items through the day, and all of a sudden you hear, the way I see it, and you're gonna laugh yourself silly for the next whatever.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love to sign autographs. Whenever I greet my adoring fans, I'm never without my Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen. I actually feel naked without it. This pen is the greatest thing since individually sliced cheese. Here's how I use it. I write in black whenever I sign my checks, blue for autographs for the guys, red whenever I sign stuff for the ladies, and green whenever all the other colors dry up. The Bic 4-Color Retractable Pen, available wherever quality office supplies are sold. Now back to the show.
Well, nobody I know of was slapped this week. That's good. Will Smith has been, he's stayed at his house. He hasn't smacked anybody else. But I'll tell you what's exciting, though.
Yeah.
You know how last week we were talking about how people were like complaining, stop talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock and move on.
Yeah.
Well, the headline that's replaced that, the slap, was Zooey Deschanel doesn't have bangs anymore. What? Earth-shattering news.
Yeah.
Breaking. I woke Libby up out of bed. Honey, Zooey Deschanel doesn't have her bangs anymore, and she can't believe that people don't recognize her.
I have been an adamant opponent of bangs my entire life.
Opponent?
Opponent.
Okay.
Opponent.
Okay. You're not
If
for
you-
bangs, you're anti-bangs.
So anyone listening to this show right now, look in a mirror.
Yeah.
If you have bangs,
Shave your head.
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You need to shave those or grow them out. And if you're going to grow them out, get a hat and keep that hat on until they're grown out.
yeah,
Don't
don't go near Mike.
bangs.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Because you know what happens when people have bangs? Now everybody's looking at your forehead. And they're either seeing your forehead between your bangs because you don't have enough bangs to cover your forehead, or you've got too much bangs and they're thinking, I can't see their forehead. And the whole time, they're not listening to what you're saying. They're looking at your bangs and thinking, where's their forehead? Or there's too much forehead, or there's not enough forehead. And where does the bang start? And where does the rest of the hair start? And how do you do that? And name one person who's discovered something, invented something, written a piece of literature, anything like that, and had bangs.
Mo from the Three Stooges.
I stand corrected.
I wish I had said Three Stooges instead of Free Stooges. Again, this is going to be a week.
This is going to be a
Darin
long one.
Can't talk.
See,
that's what she said.
I'm thinking women with bangs. I don't see. I don't see men with bangs. Am I being offensive by saying that? Like
you're being sexist.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a prude, and you disgust me.
Well, I'm going to shut up then because guys don't talk about bangs. When have you ever told another guy, "Hey, nice bangs"?
I think I'm going to get
some bangs.
You know
done.
what, Troy? I'm going to get bangs, and that'll change everything.
The guy's version of bangs is the mullet.
Yes.
You see a guy with a mullet, you're like, okay, unless you are.
Now, come on, bangs aren't that bad.
Bangs are that
You're
bad.
saying that bangs are as bad as a guy having a mullet?
Well, there's times when a mullet's fine. Obi-Wan Kenobi in Attack of the Clones, yes, we're going back through the Star Wars. Me and Charlie are walking them. Obi-Wan Kenobi has a sweet-ass mullet. in Attack of the Clones. The whole time. Every once in a while. See, I shave my head. I think everybody knows I shave my head.
I shave my head.
And I'm not allowed to unshave my head.
No.
But
unshave my head.
there are some people I see with their hair, and I think, man,
Homeboy needs to shave his head.
Obi-Wan Kenobi in Attack of the Clones, I'm like, dude, I could rock an Obi-Wan mullet right now.
Right.
All grayed and peppered. I'd wear a robe, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Get a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Just drop people.
Licensed to print money. You'd be like beating girls off with a stick.
Yeah.
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 Get away from me. I'm married.
So, yeah.
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 Okay.
What's funny was you said you didn't know who Zooey Deschanel is. How do you not know who Zooey Deschanel is?
Well, I think I have a
Haven't
picture.
you seen Elf?
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
That's the
bangs.
girl he falls in love with in Elf.
She's singing in the shower, and he's singing, and she's, what the f-? And,
they're singing "What the." That's the song that the Happy Christmas song originally coined by Bing Crosby. What the?
She was in something else, wasn't she?
She was in The Good Girl TV show on Fox.
I don't know what that is.
A lot of people mistake her for Katy Perry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's the Zooey Deschanel update of the week. You went to see the Rocketman.
I went to go see Elton John.
And you'd never seen him before.
I'd never seen him before.
What'd you think?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
He's incredible.
Let me tell you something. I've seen a couple of old people in concert. All right. I've seen Mr. William Joel. I've seen Philip Collins. And I've seen now Eltonius John. All within the past few years. And they're all old. Like Phil Collins had to be practically helped out onto the stage, and he sat in a chair.
Yeah.
But man, my first thought was, he's not going to be able to sing. And when he went going, man, he was like singing like a freak.
Yeah.
Like getting down.
Yeah. And
Billy Joel was banging the piano and going at it, and he was funny.
Yeah.
And Elton John, same thing, man. His voice went wham.
Yeah.
Is that a wig that he wears?
I think he has implants, because you can see pictures of him from the 80s where he was balding. He was balding in the 70s.
Yeah.
He was bald in the 70s.
Yeah.
Those are implants.
So I came really close to one of the shirts I came really close to buying was him in the balding thing, but it had like a bunch of gold and stuff on it. And Bess is like, I can't see you wearing that shirt. And I was like, I can totally see me wearing that shirt. But you're right. There was only certain times you can wear that shirt. And I would. So anyway, we go to the show. We had the nosebleed seats up on the side, which, to me is, I don't normally do that.
And those are what, $280 a piece?
We paid some money for it, but we got them from like scalpers, like StubHub. We got it from that, so we didn't get the face value.
Yeah.
We noticed that there were other nosebleeds where people were sitting on a bench. We actually had seats.
Okay.
And we were on the edge. I will not get seats in the middle of an aisle. I need to be on the end of the aisle.
I get that.
Expand out.
I get that.
So we're like that. We're going through the show. It's awesome. I really recommend if anybody's going to see it. He's still on tour, obviously. If you haven't seen the movie Rocketman, there's actual snippets from the movie. There's a video. Remember when we saw the U2 Joshua Tree tour?
Yeah.
There was a video that went with each song, where there was a video with everything that he played.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were just straight up scenes from the movie.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I went and I checked out the set list, and I'm surprised it didn't play I'm Gonna Love Me Again, which was the theme from the Elton John movie.
Okay.
That he won an Academy Award for.
Yeah.
That he won his second Academy Award for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was really surprised that he didn't play that.
I was shocked that he played Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Yeah.
That was... So anyway, we're going through the show. We're having a great time. Bess dropped something. So everyone's kind of standing, and then people kind of sit down, and she drops something behind her seat.
Mm-hmm.
She turns around, and she bends over to get the thing that she dropped. And her ass...
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
Struck the woman's head in front of us.
Did it knock the drink out of her mouth, or
it was like this? It was like,
ping!
We're in a concert, okay? It's loud, and I heard.
Did stars and little birds?
No, but I saw, it was somebody's,
The woman's head?
somebody's head that has hair.
Uh-huh.
If you strike it, the hair kind of, it moves like from inertia, these weird forces. I saw that happen.
Inertia.
And I'm staying. I told you I'm reading. I'm learning more words.
This is the scienciest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
The Pythagorean theorem was full force.
So anyway,
so Beth struck a woman in the head with her butt.
I see her head fly forward, and I'm thinking that she hit her too hard for this not to be addressed. Occasionally you can hit someone in the head with your ass, and it just be shrugged off.
Right.
This was an ass hit that requires attention. The lady turned around. Luckily, Bess had begun to turn around, but in the other direction, and she was turning around to tell me I found it, and the lady was turning around to face what had just hit her. Luckily for Bess, and luckily for the lady, that which had struck her was not still there when she turned around, or that would have been exceptionally uncomfortable for everyone involved.
That's like common law marriage in Kentucky when that happened. And you guys were in Lexington,
so I was just, I know the color just completely drained out of my face because I didn't know how to address this situation. The lady turned back around. I guess she figured, I'm not going to say anything. And Bess realized what she did. And then in case she didn't realize what she did, I leaned over and I said, you totally hit that woman in the head with your ass. And I don't know what Elton John played for that. I don't know what he was playing then. And I don't know what the next song was because we were both laughing our asses off through that entire thing.
Yeah.
So.
Which is fun for the people around you.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So I've seen Elton John 3 times.
Okay.
That's why I didn't go on the farewell tour.
Yeah.
Because, it's like I would have loved to have seen him again. I couldn't afford it. Well, and he was amazing every single time I saw him.
One thing I really liked is they had the merch. There was a merch bus like out in front. And I got a note from Ticketmaster that said, hey, you haven't given us all your money yet. Would you like to spend $26 for a parking pass? Now, 20-something-year-old Mike would be like, no, I'm going to find a place and I'm going to walk for 5 miles to get to the concert.
Yeah.
46-year-old Mike said, yes, I will throw money at this problem because I will be right next. And we were like practically right next to the door. And we were in the same parking lot as the merch bus. Now, we went up to the merch bus. We ordered our merch like you do. And he told us the total. And Bess and I cursed at the same time, and we're like, well, we can't.
Son of a,
yeah. Holy Lord. And Bess was like, how much were those glasses? Because she got glasses that light up and stuff.
Okay.
I was like, those were $20. And she's like, $20?
Yeah.
How much was your mug? That's $20.
You bought a mug?
I bought a mug.
Why?
I've noticed this.
Okay.
I've noticed this. When I went to Phil Collins, he sold mugs.
Okay.
And I thought that's weird for a concert to sell mugs.
Yeah.
And then Tool, no mugs.
Okay. Metallica didn't sell any mugs.
Metallica sell no mugs. U2 doesn't sell mugs.
No.
No one else I've seen sells mugs. Elton John, mugs. I'm pretty sure Billy Joel had mugs. I think if you're over a certain age, you're required to sell mugs at your show.
Okay. I don't get that.
So I got a mug.
Yeah.
It was a big one. It's a nice mug. Much better than Phil Collins. Now, Phil Collins' mug, I'm more of a Phil Collins fan than I am an Elton John fan. And Phil Collins' mug has like pieces of his album covers all the way around. It's really cool.
Okay.
But it's a tiny mug. It's like it would hold like a regular cup of coffee. I need a big ass cup of coffee.
Hold me closer, tiny mug.
Yeah. The Elton John mug is a frickin' mug.
Like you could eat soup out of it.
Exactly.
Okay. That's a mug.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got all of our stuff. We panicked for a bit. We're like, well, we got to deposit more money in our account before we might need gas on the way home. We took it back to the car, and then we went in, and we were able to enjoy the show like
without
normal
having
people.
to carry all your merch.
We ate horrible stuff. I got the most buttery pretzel I've ever eaten in my life. I mean, it was sopped in butter. It was really good.
Yeah, okay.
I got Doritos mac and cheese.
At a concert?
Let me repeat that. Doritos mac and cheese. Do you know what that is?
It's mac and cheese with Doritos in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Okay.
And
And like a $22 beer?
12.
How much? 12?
11. It was 11. And she got it was a Yellow Brick Road drink. And it had like vodka and pineapple juice and a cherry. It made it sound like a fancy martini.
Right.
And then you realize there's like this vat of liquid they have there. They're just like,
yeah.
And they hear it, I was like, oh my God. It looks like day old Gatorade.
Would you like to have some vat?
Would you like to have some vat?
Was it
juice?
good? Did she like it?
She liked it.
Yeah.
She liked it. Yeah.
No, the 3 times I saw Elton, 2 of them were with Billy Joel.
Okay.
And that was just an insane concert. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then the one time I saw him by himself was in Knoxville at Thompson Bowling Arena. And it was insane. And he did kind of a different set the one time that he did with Billy Joel. So I think what's cool was after seeing him 3 times, I think I've seen all the songs that I want to hear him do live.
Yeah.
No, because usually I'm the guy who sits at a show and you can play 40 songs. And then he walks off stage and I'm like, I can't believe he didn't play Tiny Dancer. And I've got to stop doing that. I got to be appreciative of what I hear and not what I don't hear.
Yeah.
But there are some artists who I've seen multiple times who still don't play the song that I want to hear. I'm like, come on.
I got a kick out of seeing him. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm putting the old rockers all into one category, but him and Billy Joel and Phil Collins were so appreciative of the audience.
Yeah.
And at first, it was annoying. Like every time Elton John would finish a song, he stands up and he does this and this.
He throws his arms up in gratitude.
And then he sits back down, does a thing. And then it's like after like 4 or 5 songs, like, okay, dude, you don't have to do it. And then after a while, I was like, no, that's kind of cool that he's doing that.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I wouldn't have known this. I'm so happy I saw Rocketman before seeing this. Like Elton John is
lucky to be alive.
He's lucky to be alive, but you talk about hardcore rock star.
Ozzy Osbourne has said that he would have died had he partied with Elton John. That's what Ozzy said.
Yeah.
With Elton John.
Yeah.
I don't remember the number. Don't quote me on this because I'm certain that I'm wrong. But this was in the 80s, and someone was talking about his insane amount of his wardrobe and his shoes and all the hundreds of pairs of sunglasses. And he says, I finally went back and counted, and I had 78. It's just like, and that's not the number, but it was a small number because people assume that he had just hundreds and hundreds of pairs of sunglasses. He goes, I really don't have that many sunglasses, you know? And I remember it's like, you know, you watch what is it from when he was at Yankee Stadium performing?
Yeah.
And was that when he was in the Donald Duck costume?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I would have enjoyed that show because he's up there, you know, doing Candle in the Wind dressed as a duck.
Yeah.
That would have ruined it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, seeing that, it was the same thing. I mean, I already knew that Freddie Mercury was like the ultimate frontman. So when I saw Bohemian Rhapsody, it was more like seeing the other, you know, how they became. I love seeing how bands form and making it. You know what I mean? Like, like going from nothing to.
Oh, and what's also awesome, and kind of like what we saw at the U2 exhibit at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, was the people who told them that this ain't going to work. We're not interested in you.
Oh,
no, we're not going to record Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
You know. And so U2 had, 3 rejection letters in their exhibit at the Hall of Fame?
Bono loves to talk about how much people hated him.
RCA Records passed on him. You're not for us at this time.
I mean, we've talked. I'm not going to go into big U2 thing, but you did bring them up. They have the biopic series that's going to be coming out in 5 years.
Right.
One thing that I'm excited, and I really hope they do, is point out that they really only let Bono stay in the band because he was their friend. Like, he told him he could play guitar, and then they handed him a guitar, and he totally couldn't play the guitar. And then it was basically, well, I guess I'll sing. I'll sing. And they're like, okay, all right. I mean, gee, this is embarrassing.
When did he change his name to Bono, and why?
Bono is there was a hearing aid company or something called Bono Vox, and somehow it became from his friends. They saw a billboard, they thought it was cool, and they thought it was a cool name. They called him Bono Vox, and then Vox just dropped off, and it just stuck with Bono.
Right,
it was his buddies. Their whole life. That's one of the reasons I really, really like them. And it's one of the reasons I love Rush is bands that are true friends like for life, and that they're buddies. And even if the band doesn't work, they're going to stay together.
Yeah.
So they were buddies from high school, and they just kind of been, and all their friends around them, all the crew have been, they're all buddies, they're family and everything. And it's just, they all say, so it leads to just some hilarious stuff. Like with Rush, they called Neil Peart the new guy. The new guy.
40 years later, they still refer to him. When they inducted and did their speech at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they thanked the new guy.
Yeah. And so Larry put the ad up in high school for the band, and they still call Larry their boss. Like he started, he gave me my
He's
first
the
job.
drummer. Yeah.
It's just, there's little things like that that I dig.
Pretty cool. You were talking about how Elton, would thank people. He would stand up and graciously thank people. There's some acts who I love who I think they thank prematurely. It's like as soon as they finish the song, thanks. It's like da 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 da. Thanks. Like okay. And then I went to see the Indigo Girls. This is back in the 90s. And after every song, thanks y'all. Every song, thanks y'all. Yeah. Next song, closer to find. Thanks y'all. Yeah. Like, okay.
It's just
stop.
Enough.
And I love Chris Cornell. And after every song he would do, the time I saw him on, thanks. He would just wrap it up with thanks. And I'm like, did it sound insincere? Maybe a little.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I doubt that he was thankful for the audience? No.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here I am criticizing how somebody says thanks.
Let me ask you this.
Like I know how to do something.
You've made me think of something. Have you ever had a band that you really like, and then you see them in concert, you kind of see how they are, and it changes your opinion of them, either for better or worse?
Yes. REM.
Okay.
I went to see REM in Knoxville, and one of the worst shows I've ever seen. And every person I tell this to, they're like,
he didn't thank everybody.
They're like,
did he?
You got to be crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I saw them on the one night that they sucked, because everybody else I know who's seen REM loved, not just liked. It wasn't okay. One of the greatest shows they've ever seen. The night I saw him, Michael Stipe was in a mood. Yeah. He was an ass. He was not. He was not having a good time, and it showed.
Yeah.
And a friend of his, an author or a poet or somebody, had passed away, and I'm, I hate that happened, and I'm sorry that it happened. I get it that he felt bad. He wanted to read a poem that his friend had written, and so he's like 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines into the poem, and people are talking. He goes, "Okay, I'll start over." And he starts the poem over again, and everybody just shut up. Okay, we're not going to get to this concert until Michael reads the poem.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they would do a song, and then they would stop cold and look at each other and just kind of losing my religion. Okay. So we're going to do losing my religion. Okay. And then they would, it's like, don't you have
is that we're doing? Is it?
Don't you have a set list? Usually people write it down.
Yeah.
But they would just like, I don't
do
know.
a rundown. What the hell?
That's
we
what
know
I
that.
do.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, it was just one of the worst concerts I'd ever seen. I was so disappointed, and I still love their music. And it just, you're a big fan of Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots is one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
See, I've heard opposite. But you saw them the one night they sucked.
I was there the one night that they were horrible.
So
they gave Phoning It In a new name.
So I have a couple, and one of them was actually in the same concert. I saw the opener and the main band both hit me differently, but outside of them, I'll tell them in a second, was Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay.
It was actually my first concert ever. Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream. It's when, alternative was, for the millennials, there was a thing called alternative music.
Yeah.
It's everything that's not Rat or Poison right now, basically.
Right.
And, Smashing Pumpkins, there was an air about them. If you saw their videos, they always looked depressed and sad.
Well, yeah, because
they were.
That's what dude was. What's his name? Scott? Scott Pumpkin, what's his name?
Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan. That was my next guest.
So I was expecting them to be depressed and sad when I saw it. And dude, he was doing like jumping in the air and doing with his like
nice.
the Townsend, Pete Townsend.
Nice.
It's like, holy crap, these guys rock. And I don't need to see people do that, but it was just like, it was completely night and day from what I was expecting. The dude put in a night's work. I mean, he was sweating. They were all like going nuts. That's one. The other two are Van Halen and Collective Soul.
Oh,
okay.
I love Collective Soul. I love Van Halen.
Collective Soul opened for Van Halen. This was in 97.
Okay.
And it was me, I think one of my buddies, and two other people in the arena knew who Collective Soul was and wanted to see them. Everyone else, the Van Halen fans were being... They were booing. Every time they would start a new song, they would, go Van Halen, doing all this stuff. But Collective Soul, I was impressed by how they soldiered through it. They were in an arena where only 4 people liked them. Yeah. And they were just powering through it. They looked like they were having a great time. It got weird towards the end because I'm like, you realize that nobody here wants to, I mean, I do. Yeah. But wow, you managed to be that excited. So then fast forward, me and Beth saw them at Bogart's. They did a reissue of Dosage. They did every band did this thing where they're going to play their one album, basically
in its entirety.
That was them. And they act weird now. Like Ed Roll, like the main, he was like, dude, you're, I wanted to have a conversation with him. I wanted to say, okay, here's a few things.
We kind of miss the early Ed before he was like popular.
Here's a few things you need to know. One is you have probably one of the most unique voices.
He does.
Ever. Yeah. I mean, you can go up and down. You've got range. You can go, he does that and then I went down. He does that thing. He does it like every other song. I was going round.
Waking the day, all things in order, sweet water taste. Oh, summer, it never leaves your face. You got the sunshine bright, our California cotton candy taste. There's no memories over.
They blew my mind because was it their last album? They had a song on it called "Are You the Answer?" And I'm listening to that. And I'm like, holy crap! This song is just as good as anything that they put on their first, second, third, fourth, or fifth album. And here, all these years later, they're still able to do that.
So I think that Ed Rollin saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp one too many times. And he was acting just a bit too weird. Like, you're being a little too odd. Man. Like, and you look at it, just go to their website now and just look at pictures and you're like, okay, can you back up? Where's the 90s rock star that we want to see? You've gone off, the other way.
The first time I saw Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Lenny Kravitz opened up for him.
Oh,
okay. And this was Lenny's first album.
Yeah.
And I think I was like you. I was one of the 4 people who knew Lenny Kravitz. Okay. And people are just up and walking around and getting a beer and excuse me. And like, just,
you're like,
look at, what are you, did you get that umbrella? I can't find my umbrella. I was like, would you guys shut up? And he was, oh my God, it was insane good. Yeah. Insane. And he's putting all like 450% into Let Love Rule. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't get you people. Yeah. I don't understand you. You are witnessing somebody who is going to be insane, amazing the future.
If there was a way to go back and see your favorite bands when they were opening for others, I'm sure those are their best shows because that's when they're hungry and they're really pushing for it.
Exactly.
But the Van Halen, I got this one last one, is, Collective Soul opened for Van Halen. Van Halen blew my mind because I did not know that Eddie Van Halen was that freaking happy.
Did you know he played guitar?
Yeah, I've heard. Dude was grinning the entire...
You could have shot him. He's like, oh man, oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this hurts.
Yeah.
Hey, this hurts. Ow.
And he was like pointing at people and laughing.
Yes.
Like next to, because I was up there right on the front thing and he's pointing, and he was so damn happy. Yeah. My face hurt. Because, when somebody's grinning all the time, you just kind of smile naturally. I was grinning the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he's up there grinning.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, they are and were and always will be amazing.
Anytime we mention concerts, it's like an automatic 20-minute diversion.
I know.
What happened?
Hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
This portion of our show is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. That's right, half. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I've said this many times before. I am nothing if not brand loyal, and the only wallpaper stripper I ever use is Diff. I love this product so much, sometimes I hang wallpaper just so I can go back in a couple weeks and strip it off with Diff. My wife says I have a problem, but what the hell does she know? Diff is the only one that really works. Did I mention that no steamer is needed? Anybody who uses anything besides Diff is a deadbeat loser. So what are you waiting for? Run by your corner hardware store and grab a cart full of Diff. And tell them you heard about it on Irritable Dad Syndrome. Now back to the show.
So you cheated on me. What the frick?
I did.
Yeah.
I cheated on you. I went on another podcast. It's a brand new podcast.
Did it suck?
Actually, no.
No.
Because I was on it. No, there's a guy, his name is also Mike. He is a member of the Letterman fan club on Facebook, where I'm also a member, proud member for 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
And we were talking about something else on there. The word podcast came up, and I said, "Oh, hey, you have a podcast? I have a podcast. We're practically blood brothers, And so he says, "Hey, you want to be a guest on my Letterman podcast?" He's starting a Letterman podcast. Okay. And the podcast is he is been in contact with some staffers, some writers, some people who work for Dave. Yeah.
This is not just two jackasses in a basement talking about Van Halen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he also has a men's mental health podcast. So he's not just, I want to do a podcast. And what do you talk about? I don't know. The guy has structure. Okay. Anyway, so he not only wants to talk to people who have worked with Dave, and he's hoping to get possible guests and that type of thing. He reached out to me because, I've talked many, many, many times on the Letterman fan page about my experience of going and seeing the show. And I've won the top 10 contest several times, whatever. So he's wanting to talk to fans who have had an experience with the show that has changed their lives.
Okay.
So I went on and I'm talking about everything I know about Letterman and the time that I went to the show. And anyway, it's a great episode. He's really good. His name is Mike Chisholm.
Okay.
And his podcast is going to be available on the April 20th.
Okay.
So once
that's next week.
Yeah, I know. I'm on his
actually today, yesterday,
whatever.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's
tomorrow.
available tomorrow.
It'll be available tomorrow. So we'll post a link to his podcast, and I also want to have him as a guest on this show.
Okay.
And he said that I can be a guest on his show any other time that I want. So it was very good and it was fun. So it's the Letterman podcast, and I will post a link when that's ready.
That's awesome.
Now, we were talking, and we ran out of time.
Okay.
He and I, we just, One of the stories I was going to tell, and I can't remember if I told it on this show or not, but when I went to see Letterman, afterwards, we would hang around the Ed Sullivan Theater.
Okay.
And when the celebrities would come out and get in their limos, oftentimes they would stop and sign autographs. Okay. So the night we went, Elle McPherson, David Spade, and D'Angelo were the guests.
Okay.
And we met them. The second night we were in New York, we went back to the theater and we're hanging out, and Sybil Shepherd was the guest.
Okay.
So Sybil Shepherd comes out and she's signing autographs, and she was very, very nice. Okay. And there was a big crowd around her. I was like right next to her, and my buddy Don was behind me. Okay. And so she signed an autograph for me, and I said, "Great, thank you." And then Don slid something to me. I said, "Can you sign this for my friend who's back there?" "Oh, absolutely." So she signs another autograph for me, and I give it back to Don. So she meets everybody, and then gets in her limousine and leaves.
Yep.
And we're all just gathered around talking about how cool, we met Sybil Shepherd. It was nice. This guy comes up. out of breath.
Yeah.
And we're like, you okay? And he goes, I just ran from that stop sign 4 blocks down the street. Usually, if you can't get an autograph here, if you're at that stop sign, they'll roll down the window and sign one there. But that bitch, Sybil Shepherd, wouldn't sign an autograph for me. That bitch. I can't believe her.
What the
He
hell?
says she is just like, oh, I hate that woman, that bitch. And I'm just thinking, she signed 2 autographs for me, and she was really nice, And so, but I'm like, I'm not going to provoke this guy.
Yeah.
Not going to provoke him.
You don't know what this guy, a guy running up to you in the street like that.
Like, would you sign an autograph for someone? Hey, I ran 4 blocks. No, you're not.
No.
So we're standing there, and everybody's talking.
He's liable to slap you.
Exactly. A taxi cab pulls up. The door opens. It's Al Roker.
Oh,
From the Today Show.
Yeah.
Al Roker walks up and starts waving, and everybody, hey, and Al Roker. While he's doing that, Al Franken comes out a side door. Okay,
it's like a clown car of celebrities.
He comes out the side door, gets in his car, and dodges everybody.
Oh, wow.
And this guy who was so pissed at Sybil Shepherd said, "We fell for the old Al switcheroo." I can't believe we fell for the Al switcheroo. How stupid are we that we fell for the Al switcheroo? And I didn't want to tell him that's actually pretty funny. Anyway, I'm hoping when I go back on the Letterman podcast, I'll tell that story the next time. You mentioned Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp never watches any of his movies.
I've heard that.
He doesn't watch any of his, and I don't understand that, because even if I edit this podcast, I will go back and listen to it the day it drops.
I couldn't listen to this one for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't, until we got to the 20s, I didn't really listen to it.
Yeah. But it just, I don't know. I don't know how he can't watch any of his movies, because I can't wait to listen to our podcast. Maybe because...
Well, I can't now, but back in the day, man.
We screw up so many times when we do it live, and then when it's clean and nice and polished, ding. It's really cool. Something I was going to mention while I was on the Letterman podcast, dude starts talking about fly fishing. Why are you bringing up fly fishing? I'm like, did you listen to us live last week?
Yeah.
Did you hear, Mike lose it over fly fishing?
Yeah.
And then we were watching an episode of The Simpsons, and fly fishing comes up.
I was
like,
okay.
What's the deal with what? Why is everybody talking about fly fishing?
Everybody knows. Well, everybody knows now that I'm trying to lose weight, and one of the things I've been doing is running. And I like to run at Sharon Woods, and I occasionally listen to music. Sometimes I listen to podcasts. And I just happened to be listening to our last podcast where I was complaining about the fly fishing.
Yeah.
And at first, I started thinking, well, maybe I was a little bit too harsh. I'm going to double down. I don't like it.
You're going to double down on the
anti-fly fishing. I don't like it.
Oh, on fly fishing. Okay. Well, hey, man, to each his own.
But I did see an awesome movie. I did see a great movie this past week.
I've seen. Is it
Hell or High Water?
I've seen this movie.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I want to say about it.
Jeff Bridges sounds like he ate some
I love Jeff Bridges so much. Jeff Bridges
is the man.
Could do anything at this point.
Yeah.
We've joked, me and my friends have joked that Bono could put out an album where he's just farting for 40 minutes, and I would think it's great. Jeff Bridges is in that class with me. He could do anything.
Yeah.
And I would think it's awesome. That movie, Chris Pine, the only problem I had with the movie is I had trouble seeing Chris Pine as not Captain Kirk. But Ben Foster, the brother.
Yeah.
So he was in 6 Feet Under. Do you remember that?
No.
What was the redhead girl's name? Was it Claire?
Yeah.
Her boyfriend, the long-haired boyfriend, the skinny little boyfriend?
That's him?
That's him.
What?
So I forget what movie he was in directly. He was in a Western. Oh my gosh. With, who's the gladiator? Russell Crowe. And Batman.
Joaquin Phoenix.
No. The other Batman.
Michael Keaton.
No, the other Batman.
Adam West.
No, the other one.
George Clooney.
No.
Val Kilmer.
No. Bateman. Bateman. The hell's his name?
I know who you're thinking of, but I was trying to see if I could guess all the other ones. George Shapiro.
No.
Clint Eastwood.
What's his name?
Meryl Streep.
I always want to call him Patrick Bateman
Tony
because
Danza.
of American Psycho.
Jason Bateman.
No. Oh my God. I'm not going to be able to move forward.
Crispin Glover.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale and Russell Crowe.
Uh-huh.
Ben Foster was a villain in that movie.
Okay.
He wore like a white hat and white leather. He was like a absolute badass.
What movie was that?
But he was still thin. 3:10 to Yuma.
Okay. Have I? I don't remember if I've seen that or not.
You may not have realized that was Ben Foster because
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I was like, that's that guy?
Yeah.
And he just shows up randomly in movies and he's good. And so when I saw Hell or High Water, he's the reason I watched the movie. I was like,
Okay.
I had a picture of him. I was like, oh, Ben Foster's in a movie. I got to watch this movie.
See,
and I watched
it because Jeff Bridges was in it.
I saw that was a pleasant surprise to me when I watched it. But the reason I like Ben Foster so much as an actor is he's one of those actors. I don't see him now I've been talking about Ben Foster. This is going to sound weird. I don't see him as Ben Foster. I see him as that character. Like he is.
His father owned the Foster Grant's glasses company, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
No.
Go ahead. You can edit.
The Folgers Corporation. They had to change the name.
Gotcha.
They don't want to. He becomes that character. Like when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, I actually thought, man, he had such a promising acting career. Now he's just a loser in Texas being chased by Jeff Bridges.
Can't believe he went and robbed a bank.
It's
Kids
weird.
today, it's like, you know what? You
But
try and raise them. You try to make them make good decisions.
He's so good. He can like be in scenes and just not say anything. And he just and I'm like, man, he is so underrated. More people need to be excited about Ben Foster.
I remember watching that movie, and you're going to get pissed, but I was disappointed that it just kind of ended.
Hell or High Water?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh, you mean they kind of, okay, spoiler. Can we spoil?
Well,
Nobody
we can do
cares.
whatever we want. Nobody's
cares.
listening to the show.
Yeah, so there's like, they see each other, but then they kind of leave it at, well, I'm ignoring Steve Farrell.
The best scene in 3:10 to Yuma is when they're fly fishing in the Colorado River. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It just kind of, I sometimes like it when movies do that. So I don't have a problem
Every
with that.
now and then. See, now I'm not opposed to what people call a bad ending.
Okay.
So what was the Tommy Lee Jones Jeff Bridges movie where Jeff Bridges was the
Men
bad
in
guy?
Black.
No.
Blown Away.
Blown Away.
Okay.
Okay. And spoiler alert.
U2's in that. I still haven't found what I'm looking for. He builds a bomb while he's listening to that. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's the only scene I remember.
Okay.
What the f are you talking about? What the f you?
Back to Jeff Bridges.
Jeff, come back.
So, Jeff Bridges is the bomber, right?
Yeah. Is he? I know it was Tommy Lee Jones.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You're thinking of Arlington Road?
I don't know what I'm thinking of. Anyway, in Blown Away,
Okay.
whoever was in that movie.
So what the f are you talking about? What the f are you talking about?
This is why we're not a movie podcast.
Daddy's memory ain't what it used to be. They pinned it on, was it Tim Robbins?
What the f are you?
Tim Robbins and Jeff Bridges.
Yes, Tommy Lee Jones wasn't in. Hold on, hang on.
What the fuck is he talking about?
What the f are you talking about?
Talk amongst yourselves. Let's
It
figure
seems
this.
like a movie he would be in, though.
Let's. I'm gonna
Jeff
go on.
Bridges
This is the only thing on this podcast right now.
Jeff Bridges is a journalist chasing Tim Robbins, who's in prison, and he's trying to escape with.
The f are you talking about?
It's Jeff Bridges and Tommy Lee Jones.
No.
Yes.
That's Blown Away.
That's what I'm saying. Blown Away.
Okay, I was thinking
Okay.
Arlington Road.
Yeah.
Well, who's in Arlington Road?
I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, the bomber pins it all on the good guy.
That happens in Arlington Road. though.
Yeah, yeah. And so, but anyway,
Now you've got me all. Arlington Road, and Tim Robbins is the bomber, and he blames it on Jeff Bridges.
well, then what was Blown Away about?
I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Okay.
What the f are you talking about?
I just don't
He's
know.
an Irish guy. He's
Right?
an Irish
Okay.
thing.
Anyway, Jeff Bridges was amazing in it. And he sounded like he had sandpaper and marbles in his mouth.
I remember. Do you remember seeing him like in the '80s in Starman? Do you remember the movie Starman?
I remember Starman.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. He couldn't have possibly. That's what pisses me off about Jeff Bridges. The guy's 70 years old.
Yeah.
Good looking as hell. Just him him and Kurt Russell and Harrison Ford, all three of them can go screw themselves.
That's right.
Yeah. It just pisses me off. And they haven't had anything done. They're just old, and they're rugged, and they're badass.
Yeah.
They're sexy as hell. And it pisses me off.
So go watch the remake of True Dirt with Jeff Bridges. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Like 2.5 hours of him going, God, I gotta get that horse out of the water.
It's not True Dirt. It's True Grit.
Did I say True Dirt?
True Dirt. This is why we don't have a movie podcast.
Oh. This episode's going to be like 20 minutes long.
We edited out all this.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Bone Suckin' Mustard. It ain't mustard unless it's Bone Suckin' Mustard. Available wherever quality condiments are sold. Now back to you, Buck and Dusty.
There's a song that I've been wanting to talk about for a while.
Okay.
And have you ever heard the song Still the One by Orleans?
You're still the one. You're still the one I mean.
We're still having fun.
That's
you're
Shania
still
Twain,
the one.
Isn't it?
No. We've been together from way back when. Anyway, the song is called Still the One. It was popular in the 70s. Okay. So it's one of those songs to where you've heard it 1,000 times.
Okay.
And then you listen to it one time, you're like, wait a minute. Did he really just say what I thought he said? Because this is one of those songs that I'd never really paid attention to until recently.
Okay.
And I went and I looked up the lyrics. So here are the lyrics to Still the One by Orleans.
Okay.
We've been together since way back when.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I never want to see you again.
Okay.
But I want you to know, after all these years, you're still the one I want whispering in my ear. And then the chorus, you're still the one I want to talk to in bed, still the one that turns my head, we're still having fun, and you're still the one. Yeah. And I'm like, he just said, sometimes I never want to see you again.
Yeah.
Then the second verse, I looked at your face every day, but I never saw till it went away. When winter came, I just wanted to go deep in the desert. I longed for the snow. You're still the one that makes me laugh. Still the one, my better half. We're still, because I know the person he wrote this for has got to be going, hold on a second. What do you mean you never want to see me again? And the rest of the song is just how much he freaking loves this person.
So
but how much could you possibly love someone if the second lyric in the song is, sometimes I never want to see you again?
You reminded me of something here.
Because like you're still the one I love to touch, still the one I can't get enough, we're still having fun, and you're still the one.
Yeah.
Still the one who could scratch my itch. So put some lotion on that.
So you've heard back in... Well, Ronald Reagan was running, when he was running for president, he used Born in the USA.
Yeah, and Springsteen
got so pissed off. And if you listen to the lyrics of Born in the USA, it's not a pro...
No, it's not.
U.S. song.
No, it's not.
It's not, so...
No, it's not. And neither... It's like people have used Pink Houses before, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had an epiphany on this other... You remember, Rocketman was used in a airline commercial. It showed a father taking off, and he's like looking at pictures of his kids and stuff while it's going. Mm-hmm. If you look at the lyrics, I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no. I'm a rocket man.
And like, I think burning up the...
Yeah, Rocketman burning out his fuse up here alone. Losing it. Yeah, I mean... It's basically saying, I'm not who you think I am.
Losing my
mind.
I'm
up here losing my
Yeah.
That doesn't fit with the visuals of that commercial.
Oh, I was going to ask you, when you saw Elton, did he do a 20-minute live version of Rocketman?
Yes, it was painful. Amazing. I thought it was great, though.
Okay.
I love that song.
I always tell people, well, I love the song, too. But I say, if you need to use the bathroom, if you're like, you know what, I think I'm going to go out to the merch bus and get a shirt. I think I'm going to drive home, let the dog out.
There was
come
one point.
Back. He's still playing Rocketman.
There was one point where everybody clapped.
Be a long time.
There were a few moments where everybody clapped and we thought it was over, and it comes back, and then there was one of the times he's
long time.
One of the times he's like, it's a long silence except for him playing the piano, and then all of a sudden I think it's going to be a long time. And I was like, Jesus, really?
Long?
I guess it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It very much is a long time.
feel like we've worked really hard. I feel like you ever eaten a walnut? You ever shelled a walnut?
I hate walnuts.
You do all that work, and then you get like a little,
and like
or like a sunflower
all that
seed.
For that?
Yeah, you rip your gums out and everything for sunflower seeds. And then you're like, oh, now, and you got all this work. I feel like we've done 3 hours worth of podcast to get
2 minutes of material,
maybe 3.
Thank God for editing.
But man, they're good 3 minutes.
Oh yeah,
this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
This is going to be a good one when we sober up and hear it later. Good God.
It's time now for the Kroger Story of the Week.
We haven't had a good Kroger Story of the Week in probably a month.
Right.
Well, I told you my mom moved up here.
Right.
Okay, Mom's house is closer to the Kroger than our house is. Okay, she's literally like 2 minutes away from Kroger. So Mom went to Kroger. She's doing her shopping. She's going up to the register. One of the cashiers runs over to the other cashier and screams, "BB's pregnant!
BB's pregnant.
BB's gonna have a baby!" Mom's like, "Yep, I'm in Cincinnati."
Yep.
For people who don't know who BB is, there's a zoo in Cincinnati, and there's a hippo who lives in the zoo named Fiona. BB is Fiona's mommy. Okay. Well, Fiona's daddy passed away, sadly, 3 or 4 years ago. And they brought in a hippo named Tucker.
Tucker.
Okay. So
Tucker knocked up BB?
Yes. Tucker is now Fiona's stepdad. So anyway, the cashiers were losing their mind over a hippo getting knocked up. And that's the Kroger Story of the Week.
This has been the Kroger Story of the Week.
We want to thank you for staying with us at Irritable Dad Syndrome for 86 episodes. It's been a great ride.
Go to irritabledadsyndrome.com and send us money. Yeah. Help make this show better. Last week we had a new sponsor on the show. I don't know if you noticed it or not.
I did notice it.
It was the Corky Beehive Max toilet plunger, and there's a story behind this.
Okay.
This portion of our show is brought to you by the Corky Beehive Max Toilet Plunger, the world's most powerful plunger. Hi, I'm Dave Lay. Are you tired of breaking your back trying to unclog a nasty, impossibly blocked up toilet? Well, stand back, Troy. Do I have a product for you? The Beehive Max Toilet Plunger fits all toilet brands, including Kohler, with no splashback and powerful clog removal. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell do they call it the Beehive Max? Well, it's because this plunger actually looks like a beehive. It's quite brilliant, really. Run out and buy one for every bathroom in your home, because there's nothing more embarrassing than having company over and having to yell, "Hey honey, can you bring me the plunger?" The Corky Beehive Max Toilet Plunger, available everywhere quality toilet repair products are sold. Now, back to the show.
So when I was helping Mom move, the movers came, they packed up the truck. We had my car packed. We had Mom's van packed all the way to the nines. Just, you couldn't, it's like if she found a nickel on the floor, we're going to have to leave it. We can't possibly put it anywhere else. We have no room. So I'm doing a final run through of the...
She had enough glass to make 3 John Wick movies.
Yes, yes, she did. She had, 3 glass tables, and then she has 2, 3 giant shelves that have glass shelves. So anyway, I'm doing a final walkthrough of her house, making sure she didn't forget anything. Granted, we did leave some stuff in a closet. Okay, we dealt with that. Looked around, whatever. I go in her upstairs bathroom. Someone has clogged this toilet like there's no tomorrow. It is bad. It's like really, really, really disgusting bad. I'm like,
you don't know whether to call a plumber or Ghostbusters.
Call a priest. Call an exorcist. Jesus. And I'm like, Mom, you got a problem up here. She's like, what? And I said, somebody. And it had to have been one of the movers.
One of the movers, man. They live on Monster Energy drinks. They go up there and throw a...
Jack that toilet up like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we can't just leave this.
That's pure Big Macs and Monster, man.
It was nasty, and I apologize about talking about it on the show. But
those things have some heft too.
I'm famous for going to my mom's house and having to run out to Lowe's. Like the last 3 times I saw her.
Did you go get an auger and a hacksaw?
So I'm like, well, we can't just leave it here. And her plunger was packed with everything else on the truck. So I run down to a grocery store near her house. It's Food City. Okay. I go to Food City and I'm looking. Okay, here's where and they're completely sold out. And they do not have the $5.99 plunger. I'm like, great.
Oh, you got to get
so I'm like, okay, if I go left, I can get to Walmart, but it's like 4 miles down the road. Or I could just hit Lowe's. Let's just go to Lowe's. I'm certain that Lowe's has something. And the cheapest plunger that they have is $16.99. The Corky Beehive Max.
So this is a real thing.
It's the real thing. Yeah. I reached out to them and I explained the situation. I said, I would love to have you guys as a sponsor on our podcast. And they're like, absolutely. It looks like a flippin' beehive. It's a giant black beehive looking toilet plunger. And I
bet it moves some poo, doesn't it?
Oh, man. It does the trick. So I'm like, can I go visit my mom without having to run to Lowe's? Would that be possible? Anytime would be just great if I could do that.
So there's a couple things we got to get through before we wrap this train wreck up.
Yeah. Okay.
I see Craig Hull wants us to do more than one show a week.
Craig Hull has asked us, he says, it would be great if y'all would do more than one podcast a week. And I told him, I said, you have no idea how hard it is to do this one episode a week.
We have had moments where I've come close to calling you and saying, ain't gonna get posted this week.
I know. And then, you know what? What we do every time we record 2 podcasts, and back then Chris Rock gets slapped, or the moon explodes, or Robin Williams passes away,
or you two will show up here.
Exactly. And then by the time we air and tell the story, it was old. 4 months old.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we're not recording 2 episodes a week.
Not yet. Not until we're doing this full time.
No,
and then we do whatever the hell we want.
Those cars that Craig sent us.
Yeah.
And so a couple weeks ago we mentioned, and the pictures are on our Facebook page. Yeah. They are on our Facebook page, right?
They are. Yes.
Okay.
On Facebook.
So he took these decals and dressed up. He tricked out these Hot Wheels cars. He's going to make us a couple more.
Ooh.
And I mentioned, I said, would it be possible if we
get truck nuts on them?
Oh yeah. No, if we gave these cars away as like a prize. And he says, yeah, that'd be great. What we're going to do is, if you, the home viewer, if you can write a 30-word or more essay of why I love Irritable Dad Syndrome, we will read your letter on the air. You can email it to us. You can send it to us via snail mail. You can run it by the house, drop it off. We will read that, and then you will get one of these cars.
Yes. So
now, I'm saying this before the cars have arrived, but Craig assured me he was going to make 2 more cars.
So 30 words is about 6 fortune cookies worth of material.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So make a rundown.
Yep.
List your favorite points.
Exactly.
What's your rabbit? What sex is your rabbit?
Okay. Yeah. So we teased this at the beginning of the show.
We did, so we have to talk about it.
When we bought the bunny, Figgy, when we bought this rabbit, we asked the guy at the pet store, is it a little boy bunny or is it a little girl bunny?
He demanded to know why you're assuming this rabbit's gender.
Well, we just wanted to know so we could pick the name.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, right? And what's it matter to you if we want to know if it's a boy or girl? It's our pet.
Yeah.
I can ask if I want to.
Exactly.
Suck it, Mike. So he checks and he says that it's a boy.
Okay.
Bunny. Okay.
All right.
So we've had the bunny since September.
Okay.
October, November, December, January, March, April.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like 7 months. We're not noticing any signs that it's a boy. Not like we're holding up, hey, check it out, see if it's got any nuts on it.
Yeah.
You know, we've the rabbit one doesn't want us to hold it.
Okay.
He's not crazy about it.
Yeah.
But there have been times where we've had to clean it because he's had crap or whatever on it. And so when we wash the bunny, then we've like noticed that we don't really feel any evidence that it's a boy. And so I'm like, maybe it's a girl bunny.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to my friend Lisa,
There's
who's
no
an animal
carrot
expert.
there.
There's no, exactly.
Yeah.
I reached out to my friend Lisa. She's my animal expert friend.
Okay.
She's the woman who worked on the Beastmaster.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's trained otters and
ferrets.
She's worked with ferrets.
On Beastmaster.
Yeah, on the Beastmaster. She trained elephants. She's trained otters. She was talking to me about things that I never knew about a rabbit.
Do you train an otter to do?
I don't know. But rabbits, bucks, male rabbits, will fight each other and castrate each other.
Oh.
I'm like, what? Are you out of your mind?
Oh.
Rabbits will fight and they go for the junk.
Man.
And I'm like, so my little rabbit, my Figgy,
He was like the
my
victim
cute
of a
little-
gladiator.
is like vicious. Is like something like if there was another boy bunny, he was like, I'm going for the nuts and tear it off.
Piss him off. He's going to attack your Johnson. Is that what he does?
I guess so.
You?
Yeah.
Like, put a muzzle on that thing.
But she said that since rabbits do that,
Okay.
that they are prone to they can bring their nuts up into their abdomen.
Oh, that's a good trick.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Hey, check this out.
What
Fun
is
at parties.
Is there a button you press on your rabbit and all of a sudden these two big old nuts are going to fall out?
Boing. But I asked her, I said, well, look, we haven't noticed, he doesn't seem to have a penis. And she goes, yeah, they don't have that. So I didn't know that, all these years of watching Bugs Bunny, you never saw a penis. That's why.
No.
So we're assuming that the guy at the pet store is correct when he said that it's a boy bunny, but we have found no evidence.
You've disturbed me greatly.
And also, when you're trying to figure out if an animal is a boy or a girl, that's called sexing.
Okay.
She says it's really hard to sex a rabbit. And that's probably our show title. Hey, we haven't mentioned donuts this week.
No, we haven't.
Last 3 episodes were named after donuts.
No, I now I'm going to start telling people I was out sexing cows this weekend. We got to do a weight update, and then we gotta close this puppy up.
Okay.
All right. So today, so we never really laid a lot of ground rules.
Mike has made a lifestyle change.
Yeah,
and you've decided to stop being so tubby.
I'll tell you what. When I talked about I go for accountability, and if I have to tell everyone my weight on this show, it'll force me to change my habits. It worked yesterday. Yesterday at lunch, I went on a bender.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go into details.
Okay.
I just tore it up.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Did you get 12 chicken nuggets and a spicy chicken sandwich?
I did worse than that.
Okay.
And then I looked on Noom, and Noom basically said, you can't eat anything but lettuce until tomorrow at noon. And I did that. Because the last thing I wanted to do was wake up this morning, weigh, and then I've gained weight, and this all goes away. So I woke up. I weighed myself. I was at the same weight I was the morning previous. So right now, I'm at 222.7.
Okay.
222 pounds and 222.7 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So that's down from the week before?
That's 2 pounds down from the week before.
Yeah, okay, because you were
I was 224 or something.
Okay. Well, I told you that that I normally weigh 220. I went home, and the day after we had done this podcast, I weighed myself, and I was at 217.8 or whatever. Apparently, I've lost some weight.
Okay.
Helping Mom moving all her boxes.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of stuff. So I was like, sweet, I'm already down a little over 2 pounds. This morning, I weighed myself. It was at 214.7.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And I've done it by portion control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've avoided the snacks. I've cut back seriously on sodas.
Yes.
And I've had to cut back on sweets. When I went to the grocery store the last time, I didn't buy any. I didn't buy any sweets.
So my bender yesterday
Yeah.
included an extra big truck stop payday bar.
Oh, was it the chocolate covered one?
No.
Have you had the chocolate covered ones?
No, I don't want to. I'm not.
Jesus,
I'm not down with that.
God, those are delicious.
But I had a Chipotle burrito. I got the chips that you're supposed to share. I ate them all myself. And then at that point, my body just said, get the payday bar.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
And then I felt guilty, and I was like, I got to eat. I literally ate nothing until I had a salad today at lunch. And then you saw I had spaghetti at dinner, and I had a very small portion of it.
Spaghetti and pizza.
I did. Yeah. I did have a piece of pizza.
I'm trying to keep you honest, brother.
Yeah.
Keep you honest.
I'm telling Noom everything. Noom's like,
Okay.
all right.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. This has been episode 86. We're happy that you're here. We want you to go to irritabledadsyndrome.com. And we say it every week. Check out previous episodes. You can go to Patreon and you can donate money. And
Patreon, you get access to unedited, unquacked episodes if that's your thing. Anyway.
I haven't mentioned this enough. It's like, if you're listening to the show, you don't have to. If you want to help us out, that would be fantastic. I mean, it's like, we have a couple hundred people who listen to the show. We average around 100 people a week. It's like if everybody gave us $1. Everybody gave us $2.
They're not going to listen to you.
Right.
They had their chance with Fear Inoculum vinyl. They didn't do it.
Well, why would somebody want you to have a $400 album?
Why, $800.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you can do that, and you can buy merchandise, and you can do all that fun stuff. And if you want to, that'd be great. And if you don't, we love you anyway, and we appreciate you listening. And as always, we hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Bye.
Well, that's it for this week. Keep it real, and as always, word to your mother. Peace out, Holmes.
You're barking up the wrong tree, bruh.
You dropped coin, bruh. Boom.
We haven't really used, really jerks my coin. What was it? Jumps my coin?
It really jumps my coin. I forgot about that. Yeah, and then Chris Michaels said that like a couple of days after that. Yeah, that really jumps my coin.
Really jumps my coin.
Thanks, Chris.
What the f*** are you talking about?